Well, I've been collecting my sprouts. This is just a sample of them off the sprout plants, and well, they're rather magnificent. So these are going to be sorted out, prepared, and then we're going to blanch them and freeze them. Hello, I hope you can see me here behind my dahlias. Do you know, these are just the most amazing plants. I thought a few weeks ago that these were on their last legs. I wasn't getting many flowers off them, and in fact I forgot to deadhead these, as you can see. However, recently, probably the weather conditions, they've just taken to bloom again. I really am waiting, because I'd like to dig them up. I'd like to get the tubers out of the ground, because this is where my new greenhouse will go. But these are so in blossom that I'm going to have to keep them for a while. Unfortunately, this one here has snapped for some reason, so I'm very lucky. I'm about to take that into the house with me, and we can have a beautiful bloom inside. So yes, we're waiting for these to drop off and to stop blooming, but they're not. They're coming back over and over again, and I'm so pleased because these were in the sale. I think I've said before they're about £1 a plant, so that's just incredible. And aren't they spectacular? A beautiful bit of colour at this time of year. Well, I've just been last night blanching and freezing the sprouts that I picked, and well, I've got some photographs to show you. Now, the blanching process is really quite simple actually. It's you plunge them into cold water to start with, but the cold water to start with is filled with salt, so it's really heavily salted water. That encourages the nasty little creepy things that are living inside that you can't see to come out of the sprouts, of the outer leaves. Now, here's a picture for you of mine in the water. They look quite happy, don't they? Floating around. Leave them for about an hour in the water and keep moving them around to encourage, the knocking out of anything that's in there. And also, once you've got them sorted, you can separate them into sizes if you like, but the blanching process, I found last night, well, it was an experiment really, so fingers crossed they're frozen all right. They look like they're frozen all right. Larger ones about 5 minutes, smaller ones maybe 30 seconds to a minute, because I did notice I did the smaller ones a little bit too long and some of the outer leaves fell off, so the smaller ones became even smaller. However, don't panic, I've saved the leaves, I've frozen them separately as well, because I can chop them up and we can have them shredded, a bit like shredded cabbage. They'll just be shredded, and I might do those with bacon and a few walnuts in butter. Very, very simple. So the second part of the process is the blanching itself. Hot water, put your sprouts in, time them and take them straight out into cold icy water. And then once you've done that, leave them to the cold, and then of course put them onto a tray if you've got a tray, or I've just put them onto some old tea towels and left them to dried them as much as I possibly could, put them into a bag, and then took as much air out of the bag as possible to get them as flat as possible, and then put them straight into the freezer, and they were frozen. And I went back today and I've muddled them all up so they're now nice and loose, they're not compacted together, and fingers crossed they won't get freezer bite, and we'll have some lovely sprouts on Christmas Day here on the allotment. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the sprouts, and good luck if you're blanching yours, and don't forget, send me some photographs in of all the things you've done this summer here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Ta-ra for now.